Hey everyone, Sweet Johnny Cage here. Welcome back to part 8 of the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree full playthrough walkthrough. In this section of the walkthrough, we are going to begin our adventure in Scadu Altus. Now, there's an interesting thing about Scadu Altus, and that is if you approach Shadow Keep, there's like an imaginary line, and if you cross that imaginary line, Miquella's Great Rune breaks, and a lot of things in the world begin to change. So it's kind of like a point of no return. So the next couple of videos, we are going to be actively avoiding Shadow Keep, and we're going to go kind of like right up to that invisible line and then backtrack a bit. So unless you're okay like not caring about NPC questlines and certain cookbooks, just go into Shadow Keep, you're fine. You can just ignore the message. But I want to make this as complete a walkthrough as possible as you can get in one playthrough, so we're going to avoid Shadow Keep, and our pathing is going to be a little interesting. So for the most part, we are going to explore the western section of Scadu Altus, which is sort of around here, but we're also going to be doing a little bit of backtracking for Moore's questline. If you recall, Moore is the gentleman that sits at the main gate cross side of Grace, the little dude who squats and sells you items and speaks very kindly of everybody. So we're going to do his questline and get a bunch of Forager cookbooks. All but one Forager cookbook is available before breaking Miquella's Great Rune, but there is a special one that you can only get from him, and we can get that in this part of the this part of the walkthrough. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll show you my stats before we start. Currently level 189 with a level 6 Scadutree blessing, a level 5 Revered Spirit Ash blessing, 60 Vigor, 26 Mind, 45 Endurance, 16 Strength, 55 Dex, 9 Intelligence, 8 Faith, 49 Arcane. We have so far collected 12 Scadutree fragments as well as 9 Revered Spirit Ash. So that will continue to go up, and as always, check the description for specific parts of this walkthrough, as well as a tracker for how many Scadutree fragments we have. All right, welcome to Scadu Altus. Scadu Altus is a really big area, and our first stop is going to be this side of Grace with Leda and Hornsent. So let's bump up the volume and speak with these folks.
Hello again. Did you meet my compatriots? They're quite the congregation, from places as far and wide as you can imagine. Doubtless it'd have all come to blows at first glance, were it not for the charm kindly Miquella put upon us. This is what allows us to serve together, the work of a living god. Wondering about the Hornsent, are you? True enough. In any other circumstance, he'd be at our throats. Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Messmer to purge the Tower folk, a cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside, man is by nature a creature of conquest, and in this regard, the Tower folk are no different. They were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war, but it's still a wretched shame. Wondering about the Horn? True enough, long ago.
You have a knack for timing, my fellow. I found the site of a new cross. Take this. Miquella has said as much himself. He wishes now to throw it all away. He says the act, though undoubtedly painful, will sear clean the Erdtree's wanton sin. The truth of his claim can be found at each cross. It is evidence enough to earn my belief. Go to the misshapen tree of Umbra. In that forsaken place, blood must spill. Blood of your fellows, the Erdtree faithful. Go to the misshapen tree in that forsaken place.
Okay, so we've caught up with Leda and Hornsent. We received a new cross map, literally new cross map, from Hornsent that shows the location of a few crosses. We will find all of these throughout our adventure. And Leda had something very interesting to say, and that was that everybody's under the charm of Miquella. So she's aware of the spell, but I don't think she realizes it's actually a spell. The way I interpret it, at least so far, is that she's just so devout a follower of Miquella that she feels like everybody's come to his side. I don't necessarily get the vibe that she knows that it's a full-blown spell that everyone's under. But that's just me. Okay, so this item here is really interesting. This is the Monk's Missive, and then we also get the May the Best Win emote. And if we check the Monk's Missive, it says a letter bearing a terse message and an illustration of a monk, his hands held together. Seek me to the east if you wish to pursue the way of the warrior. When you find me, you will challenge me to a bout. There is no need for words. So, there is a monk to the east of here, literally due east. It's like right here. It's a place called Morth Ruins. There's a monk in front of a Site of Grace and a Miquella's Cross, and that monk, you just use the May the Best Win emote in front of him, and then you challenge him to a boss fight. You can also pick up a Scadutree fragment, which should be number 13. Okay, cool. So we can also examine the cross, and it says, carved words coalesce. I abandon here my heart. And you get the virgins as well. So don't forget to light the Site of Grace. And now we have a couple of choices. So the map still is just down this road. It's right here. And then you can see very clearly that there is a furnace golem. So that's going to be our first stop. Let's go do that now. However, we're going to grab the map fragment, and then we're very quickly going to begin clearing out a specific few enemies from that encampment. This way they do not bother us. And I actually see this guy patrolling over here, so I'm going to very quickly sort of sidetrack and just take care of these guys here, as well as the Black Knight on horseback patrolling those woods right there. You can also pick up a Mesmer's, or an Ember of Mesmer. So taking care of this guy. These guys, interestingly enough, you can actually just like really mess up their horse first, and like they're barely going to be able to touch you. All right, so oh damn, the extra swing just screwed me up. Basically, you can do the thing where you knock them off the horse and you get a free critical. All right, and the reason that I'm choosing to kill these guys now is because when we approach this camp, there's the furnace golem is going to begin moving. So we get the map of Scadu Altus, and you can see here it's quite large. So our adventure in this part of the walkthrough, we're more or less going to cover this area, but this right here is more or less the invisible line. Like, it's right around here. This is the invisible line where Miquella's Great Rune breaks. Now, what's interesting is that there's another area over here that we haven't yet discovered. You get there from this cavern right here. I mixed up the words cave and cavern in my head. You enter this cave, and then it brings you underneath here, and then you can explore this whole area. This whole area does extend past here. However, that does not count for Miquella's Great Rune, so you can freely explore this entire area, at least the base level of it, without shattering Miquella's Great Rune. So I'm going to very carefully aggro these guys in hopes that it does not also aggro the Furnace Golem, which it does not appear to be, which is very good. Alright, let's bring the Black Knight out here. Now, you don't have to do this, but I just really recommend it, just because fighting the Furnace Golem with these guys all around is a bit of a nightmare. Oh, there you go. Okay, and then let's aggro this guy as well. And then we're going to clear out another couple of enemies from the camp. And then when we do that, the Furnace Golem is going to aggro. So you got to be very, very careful here. All right. Over here, there's going to be a guy sleeping in the woods. It's a Twinblade Black Knight. He's right here. So you want to sneak up on him. You don't have to kill this guy, but depending on how the Furnace Golem fight goes, you may find yourself having to defend yourself against him in addition to the Furnace Golem. Okay, very good. And then finally we're going to approach this opening over here. And then when we kill this guy, the Furnace Golem is going to wake up. So you can see it moving in the distance there, which is good. So now we can actually fight the Furnace Golem. So it's going to get towards the entrance here, and now you see why I killed these guys. He's going to get towards the entrance, and then we want him to get as close to us as we can get him down the hill here. You have to be careful, though, because he's on a slope. And enemies on slopes, I'm sure you're familiar with by now, tend to become a bit of a nightmare. And so you want to be very careful with them. Oh, God. All right. So, yeah, this is why this one is really frustrating to fight. I'm going to try to bring him further down. The thing that I'm trying to avoid is a big AoE attack. I want him to actually come toward us off that ridge. And again, this is why killing everybody around here is really important. Come on, dude. His pathing is a little scuffed. There we go. Well, now he's just on the road, which isn't that helpful, but it's better than nothing. So, again, it's just a slow and steady fight with this guy. Be careful of your stamina management. That's one. I actually really like to bring him closer over here. Why are you doing that? I don't know what that attack was. It seemed like he was getting into the big fireball animation, but he didn't actually do anything. Ooh, that was a bad double jump. Oh my god, it's taking forever. Yeah, I ran out of stamina. That was bad. This really does just take absolutely forever. I've only stunned him once, I think. At this rate, I'm actually going to kill him. Feed my boy some raisins. It's 2. Oh, that was 3. Okay. I don't recall the second one. All right. The old rinse and repeat here. Easily gonna be the most boring part of all these walkthroughs. There's one. Oh god. Dummy, get up. Oh, what do you... Let my stamina restore. Two. I feel like one day somebody's going to discover a much faster way to kill these particular furnace golems. This just gets so boring. Slowly but surely. I'm actually gonna kill this thing. Like, oh, there we go. Jeez. Seems like no life left. Oh. Am I gonna be able to get that? Oh no. I'm actually gonna have to kill this thing. This is why I hate fighting things on slopes. Oh my god, this is obscene. Okay, finally. Okay. Interesting. Never seen that before. Okay, they went away. There's a Crimsonburst dried tier. Steadily restores HP of nearby allies for time into mixed physics, so good for co-op for that one. All right, so that is that Furnace Golem. Now, like I said before, there is an invisible line at the end of this encampment, but there is a lot in the encampment that we want to do, so we're going to begin clearing it out. Most importantly, though, is this Scadutree fragment right here. So this is 14. I believe that there should be a statue of Marika here, but I think the Furnace Golem killed it. So, yeah. But make sure you pick up that Scadutree fragment. I picked up 49 of 50 on my first playthrough without looking anything up, and this was the one I was missing. So it's just kind of hard to see. Okay. Now, I'm going to do something that I normally never do. I am going to back up my save because I'm so terrified of this happening. So let's upload this. Perfect. Okay, great. God forbid we break the rune. We could just come back. All right. Cool. So now let's begin exploring this area. And there's actually another Scadutree fragment in this camp that we should be able to get without breaking the rune. And I realized that we could just come here in the walkthrough when it's time to break the rune, but I want to do all that we can before. Oh boy. So there's like a ridge that we can't cross. I believe that's a Black Knight with a bow. Yep, there he is. Oh boy. Okay, got him. Alright, very good. Black Iron Armor, Blessed Bone Shard. Okay, cool. So, basically, this is more or less as far as we can go. You can go a little further, but you don't want to. Shadow Realm Rune. Ember. Ember. Okay. Battlefield Priest Cookbook 3 teaches us Golden Vow. Okay. Good. The Blessed Bone Shard. I could have sworn there was a second one. It might be further up the hill. But it's okay. All right. So. Okie doke. So we can begin coming up this hill here. And this encampment kind of extends up the hill. So that's where we killed the Furnace Golem. That big, swath of fire. That's Castle Ensis right there. So let's come over here. We'll kill this guy. Hopefully we can get the proper critical on him. Oh my god, again. I'm swinging too much. Drop the shield. Alright. So, this church up here is called the Church of the Crusade. We're going to get invaded inside this church. We're going to get invaded by Fireknight Queelign, who invaded us in Bellerat. It's the same guy. But this time when we kill him, he's going to drop a key.
Not evade the flame of Mesmer.
No way. Wow, we killed him before he healed. Nice. Alright, so we get Ash of War Flame Skewer, which is a really good Ash of War. This is a new type of affinity. This is Flame Art affinity, which does more fire damage. So it's really, really good. We're going to use it against a boss later. Actually, 2 bosses. More importantly, we get the Prayer Room Key. Iron Key with an engraved crest opens the door to the prayer room in the house of worship found in the church district of the Shadow Keep. So there is an entire separate district to the Shadow Keep. And that is over here. This portion of Shadow Keep is accessed from the eastern side of Scadu Altus. So keep that in mind. And we get Scadutree Fragment. I believe that's 15 now. Okay. Now, there is another important item over here, and that is actually part of Sir Moore's questline. So, we pop out this window here. Up on a hill, we're going to find a member of the Forager brood. Up on that. He shouldn't be up on that hill up there, but maybe he is. Could have sworn he was just out here. Maybe he is up another hill. Again, I'm trying to be careful of the Great Rune. Okay. Yeah, let's go further up. This gets a little harder at night. What I recommend doing is actually attacking this place from the top down. Reason being because there's archers and stuff, and you don't want to give them the line of sight. Okay. It's Black Steel Twinblade. And then... Okay, that guy's no longer paying attention to us, which is helpful. Okay, good. Got rid of those two. This guy's pacing around. Okay, very good. Oh. Oh, there's two of them. I was like, what the hell just happened? Not good. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Now, don't forget about the lower camps as well, if you want to truly clear everything out. Okay. What's nice about this camp is that there's so many, like, packs of enemies that you end up replenishing your flasks, like, constantly. So once you get past that Black Knight, it's a lot easier. Oh, boy. Ah, Briar Armor for the win. I really do love this armor set. All right, that's Golden Vow, which we just learned how to craft. This is basically a consumable version of the Golden Vow incantation. So it's pretty good for, like, buffing yourself before boss fights and stuff. Okay. Now, the Forager Brood Cookbook should be somewhere around here. There should be a Forager Brood that is in need of our help. And the Forager Brood is literally, you're going to think it's an enemy. What's going on? He should be, like, right over here. And he needs a glowstone. There he is. Oh, okay. He's right next to the church. I don't know how I mean, it's nighttime. That's why I missed him. I'll show you on the map right here. So, again, Scadu Altus. He's right here. Okay, so this guy is injured, and so what we need to do is we need to drop a glow stone for him. Or a warming stone, sorry. Warming stone. And do we have any? Yep, warming stone. You should be able to craft these. But you want to use it and just drop it on him. And this heals him up. And then he gets up. And then I believe you got to reload the area. Yeah, okay, let's just reload. And this particular brood, or, you know, Miquella's lesser whatever guy, he is he's part of a collective, sort of like a guild, alongside Sir Moore called the Forager Brood. And these guys give you cookbooks. So whenever you see these guys, if they're passive, they're all like on the ground, like foraging within the ground. Do not attack them. They are friendly. So we get Forager Cookbook number 4, which teaches us how to craft holy proofed pickled liver. Wow. A record of crafting techniques left by the non-human Forager Brood, shared out of kindness toward Moore and his kin. So now that we've gotten to this cookbook specifically, let's go back to Sir Moore, and we will also tell Ansbach about some more crosses, provided he's still here. I think he still should be. Yeah, he doesn't move till the Great Rune breaks. So let's speak with Moore, and because we have that specific cookbook, and because we've helped that specific Forager Brood member, he will give us another cookbook.
Welcome. Oh, I know. This is for you. The Forager Brood give their thanks. Many things we have found. I, find for you things. Goodbye.
Righteous Tarnished, what brings you here? Well, I am much obliged. To think there was a cross left in such a faraway place, and the deep purple water lilies would be blooming there. This can only mean kindly Miquella has divested himself even of that. His adoring other self, his blossom of slumber. Righteous Tarnished.
Okay. Cool. So that is the only way to get Forager Cookbook 7. The rest can be found via the Foragers. So we're actually going to go on a little bit of a detour right now. And there's going to be another Forager like around here. Should be like right around there. Admittedly, this is not something I did on my first playthrough. I found a few of them. But yeah. This is the only way to get these cookbooks, and you have to do this before Moore moves. You don't have to do it before the Great Rune shatters. In fact, you can't get all of them before the Great Rune shatters. I've seen that reported a whole bunch, but there is one that you cannot get before the Great Rune shatters because the only way to get there is to cross the invisible line. So it's just being misreported. I don't know. All right, so we have this side of Grace. I'm going to rest here just to reset it. And then I'm also going to pass time to morning. This way we can actually see things. Okay. And then Forager Brood should be over here near this, where this Blood Fiend is walking with his dog. Should be in this area. So I'm just going to quickly kill the dog. I can't really speak today. Okay. The Forager Brood should be somewhere over here. Yep, there he is. So again, on the map. Oh, sorry, I marked it wrong. It's right here. So that's Forager Cookbook 2, which teaches us fireproof pickled liver. Okay, now, let me just double check my map here. There is one other on the Cerulean coast. It's actually an Elac River. Okay, so let's do that now. It's going to be somewhere like right over here. So the quickest way there is via the Cerulean coast side of Grace. We're going to go backwards, back towards Elac River, and this is why having that Furnace Golem dead is really helpful, because now we can just avoid that whole thing. And normally there's a Furnace Golem here, but we've already killed him, so. We probably could have gotten these along the way, but I kind of just like I mentioned at the end of the previous walkthrough, I wanted to make sure to look up everybody's quest lines and do them before we cross the invisible lines. So figured we could just lump it all together. Right, yep, here's this guy. Right here. Gives us Forager Brewed Cookbook 3 and a yellow Fulgur Bloom. Lightning-proof pickled liver on this one. Okay, and then... yeah. Okay, so there's 2 left. There's actually 3 left. The next one is basically over here. Like right around here. We actually saw this Forager Brood when we were in Castle Ensis. So I'm going to leave this one for next time. But basically there's one here about... and then there's another one right over here on this ridge. You got to go through this cave here, though. And then you'll end up over here. So there's one there. And then the one that you cannot get until you break the Great Rune is like right over here. So there's a path that leads into a building that goes underneath this ridge, but you can actually get above this ridge, and it's right about there. So those are the 3 that we have left. We'll get those on follow-up attempts. I just wanted to make sure to get the one near the Church of the Crusade, because that one is what leads to Cookbook 7 from Moore himself. So we basically have all of them. Moore does not move right away. After you break the Great Rune, you have to speak with him first, and then he will move eventually. Like, if you basically go through more or less the entire game, he will eventually move on his own. However, you more or less have to have a conversation with him before that point in order to get him to move at all. So you can get all of these without breaking the Great Rune, but I think the only one that's restricted is the one near the Church of the Crusade, which is this one. So, okay, now that we've done all of that, let's get back on track in Scadu Altus. Let's go back to the High Road Cross side of Grace. And then we are going to go to the Belfry, and we are going to use that that imbued sword key that we found in Castle Ensis. And if you didn't find that, feel free to go to my walkthrough for that. It's the previous part. And I have marked it in the video description. So, all right. Now you can just ignore that Carian Knight. And the Belfry is right here. So there's only one Belfry in the Realm of Shadow. There's only one imbued sword key. Let's go ahead and place it in. And we're going to travel to another location. And then this is going to bring us to a place called the Ancient Ruins of Rao. The Ancient Ruins of Rao can normally only be accessed via Shadow Keep. But you can't actually get anywhere else from here. So this is like a bit of like a separate location. That said, however, you can reach this particular platform from right here, but that platform is the entry to that is like deeply hidden. So we will get there. I will show you the boss fight that's in this building. But our purpose here is to kill this guy. So this is a Horned Knight that has Crucible powers. He also throws these feathers. Like I said, he has Crucible powers, very similar to Crucible Knights. He will start using these Crucible powers right around 50%. That attack string is not done until he actually lands, so be aware. Yep, he has that kick. He can also start walking towards us. Ooh, yikes. All right, but he goes down. Not terribly hard. He can get a little out of hand if you're not careful. And then he is guarding this statue that has an item. All right, so this is their Verdigris Discus. A discus made of Verdigris, the corroded metal known for its heft. Raises defense with higher equipment load. Great weight makes for great strength. the strength to protect others. So this is made out of the same metal that Moore's armor is made of, and you can get Moore's armor in a number of ways. One of those ways is to kill him if you want to. I don't know. I don't recommend doing that. He's a nice guy. But you can if you'd like. Otherwise, you'll get it later on in the game. So these are the Ancient Ruins of Rao. It's a really, really cool place. There's quite a lot going on here. But again, you don't reach this until you go through Shadow Keep. So, yeah. And then... Okay. This tower right here has a hidden sort of thing going on, and I'm curious the placement of that. I mentioned when we were in the Fog Rift Catacombs that you get the stone scabbard sword or something like that, the stone sheath sword. You can change it into a different sword in that tower, but I'm just curious like if it's actually like right on top of where you get the sword. Anyway, so that's the Belfry. Let's go ahead and warp back to High Road Cross, and then the next thing we're going to do is Fog Rift Fort. Fog Rift Fort drove me a little crazy in terms of trying to find it. Fog Rift Fort is this fort right here. When you were going to Fog Rift Catacombs, you had to go down this ravine, and there were enemies up on scaffolding throwing fire pots at you, and I told you you'll get to them eventually. It is now eventually. So we're going to come over here, and then we are going to ride along this ridgeline. And there's another Site of Grace over here. Of course, there's a Black Knight patrolling. Finally got it. I love that kill. That is like my favorite critical hit in the entire game. It's so, so strong. Like, it's just tough looking, you know? It's just so much fun. Okay, I think it's up another level. Can we double jump up here? Yeah. This is the Church of the Crusade. Oh, it's back further this way. I think we just went too far. Yeah, it's over here. I see it. So we have some sunflowers here. 3 eagles, or hawks, and then this Site of Grace. Perfect. Okay, so this is the Scadu Altus West Site of Grace. It's right over here. So High Road Cross, just follow the ridgeline, and then you'll get to Scadu Altus West. Now, there is player hints here showing you where to go, but basically you want to fall down this ridge, and then fall down again right here, fall down again right here, and then enter Fog Rift Fort. All right, Fog Rift Fort is not terribly difficult. However, you do want to have some fire arrows ready. So go ahead and craft fire arrows if you're able. Okay. And then these are red barrels, always explosive. And then let's try to aggro this guy. Ah. Oh, well, he's going to climb up. We'll take care of him. Oh, why did that blow up? That's not a fire weapon. That was weird. Is that normal? Anyway. Fog Rift Fort. So in this room, there's quite a lot of red barrels. Let's go ahead and shoot a fire arrow. But then there's also a guy behind this one. Might have killed both of them. Oh, wow. What are you, like, invincible or something? All right, well. Cool. Careful with these guys. Okay, very good. So these are the guys that were throwing firebombs at you. And that is the ravine that leads to Fog Rift Catacombs. So we get Greater Potentate's Cookbook number 3, which teaches us Hefty Oil Pot, which is helpful. If you coat things in oil and set them on fire, they take a lot of damage. All right. Now, the boss is in this keep. However, there is more to do. And so, yeah, this area down here is pretty tough. There's a lot going on down here. So if we walk back here, do this. Now, these guys are like manning these flamethrowers, so try to take them out as quickly as you can. That ain't gonna work. Huh, out of arrows. What? What do you have, 1 HP left? Come on, buddy. Okay. Let's just craft some more arrows. Now, this is going to be a little hard to see because of the number of, just because of all the fog. So I'm going to try my best again to take out some more of these guys. All right. I think we're okay. Okay. Yeah, we just have the one shield guy. All right, I think we're fine. Let's hop down. Now, there is like a front way that you can go through here, but jumping down here is just way easier. All right, go ahead and open up the treasure chest. And then you get the Serpent Flail, which says a flail with coiled snakes for bludgeoning heads. Fire roars within the snakes' bodies, inflicting horrible burns. Some of Messmer's army use these flails to burn Hornsent to brand them with agony and fear. All right, and then the fog just went away. Cool. Backstab this guy. Get that over with. Backstab this guy. All right, now, the nice thing is that the guys on the flamethrowers really won't do anything. They're able to stay on the flamethrowers for the most part, unless you sort of bonk them off like that. Cool. All right. Great. And that's that. So there is a ladder that's like the intended... Oh, missed the treasure. It's like the intended way to come down here. But going from the back is just a lot easier because you don't have to deal with the flamethrower guys. All right, now it's time to fight the boss, which is a Black Knight guy who has a really interesting incantation that I don't think has been found in the game yet. But basically, he gets like a frog's tongue. So as soon as you approach here, he comes out. And then this guy's name is Black Knight Guru. And that's that right there. It's like a frog tongue crucible incantation. But again, doesn't seem to be in the game yet for players. Not sure if it's missing or if people just haven't found it yet. I know I have not found it. So if you have found it, please post a comment, edit the wiki, let people know. Ow. Oh, you did it again. Same thing. So these Black Knight bosses really are not that challenging. They're incredibly susceptible to backstabs. Oh, oh god. So that's what that does. I never actually got hit by that before. It just sucks you in toward him. Oh, wow. Okay, so it does a lot of damage on the back end. Oh, God. Dude, come on. What, are you at 10 HP? Okay, that's Black Knight Garu. Or Garu. You can come in here. You get the Black Steel Great Shield. Weighty shield carried by the Black Knights, servants of Mesmer the Impaler, made of black steel with decorative embellishments in gold. Symbolic of their iron conviction in their crusade, the Black Knights will never yield, nor will they ever doubt their purpose. Not true, because Andreas defected. Alrighty, so that's that. That's the ladder that came in. We can come over here. And then blow this up. Yeah. He killed himself. Great job, buddy. Smithing stone. Somber smithing stone. And now we're not entirely done. There's still like an extra little area here. So if we go behind this keep, we can drop down here. Come over here. And then go up this ladder. And go up this ladder. Man, I really do love the world of this place. It's just, I mean, seeing Castle Ensis there is just so sick. All right, and then we get Arrows Soaring Sting Talisman. A talisman composed of fletched and iron arrows. Increases the effective range of bows and raises attack power of arrows and bolts. So, archery builds rejoice. You finally have a good talisman. Just kidding, I'm sure there's others. Okay. And then we can come over here. I don't actually think there's anything over here, but... yeah. Alrighty. What's this waterfall for? Oh, this drops back into Castle Ensis. Interesting. Would you survive this? Yeah, I guess you would. Gravesite Plain? Castle Ensis. Oh, might be dead. Whew. I've never... Where are we? This is the side of Castle Ensis. Yeah, okay. We're not anywhere special. Right? No. Okay, this is the side of the Fog Rift. Okay, good. I was like, did we just find something brand new? No. All right. So that's that. Now, the last thing that I want to do in this area of Scadu Altus is I want to go kill a boss in this lake right here. So this is a world kind of boss. It's a red bear, or the great red bear. There are a couple of these bosses, and they drop interesting things, so I want to take a moment to go kill them. Time to Get off the horse. Okay. Right. So you see some bears in this area. Should give you a good indication as to what we're about to do. I'm just checking these ridges for items. Okay. Man, it's so obvious that that's down there. I can't believe that took me so long to find. Finding Rao base made me feel like an absolute idiot. Okay, anyway. In this lake, we have a bear boss fight. This is very similar to the Rune bear boss fights from the base game. However, this bear has incantations. So, it's got Beast Claw, which is always exciting. It's also got that. So, it's kind of like a mixture between Garank and a Rune bear, which, I mean, should sound terrifying to you. But very susceptible to bleed, as are all beast-type enemies. You do need to be kind of careful, though, because it has these incantations that it can do. Yep, that's an eruption. I didn't see the ground until it was too late. And then it can also sort of zoom toward you like that. Still has those abilities, which are very frustrating. See the horns growing out of it, which I don't know if that's meant to indicate that it was a Hornsent, or it's eating Hornsent, or maybe it's becoming a dragon. I don't know. Okay, so when it gets close to about 50, it's going to start doing additional incantations with its claw swipes. Yep, it has a roar. That'll just push you back. It can also deal damage. I was blocking there. But it's got these claw swipes now that deal a lot of additional damage. Oh, wow, I just let him hug me. So I'm mashing L1 and R1 here, and then that will drop me out of the grab sooner. Take less damage. God, I'm not recognizing that move. Okay, it's gonna do some swipes. Roar. Wow, I'm like rolling like a half second too late. It's gonna bleed again. I jumped. Oh, come on with the Beast Claw. Whoa, buddy. Dude, I am just bleeding flasks right now. This is bad. Okay, back on track here. I think the bleed meter reset during all that. Nope, got it. All right, so that's Ralva, the Great Red Bear. Whew. And then for our troubles, we get the Pelt of Ralva, which is an interesting headdress. The pet of Ralva, the Great Bear, worn upon the head without modification, enhances incantations of what is jokingly called Bear Communion. This untreated hide, worn at the end of a bloody bout, is just the thing to make a wild bear out of a warrior. So you can actually wear this. It's got low stats, but it does increase the potency of bear incantations. Where is it? It's light armor. There we go. So yeah, it's kind of cute. Wear that while naked. Strike fear into the hearts of your PvP opponents. Alrighty. So, that's going to do it for this section of the walkthrough. It's been an hour. We did cover a lot. It may not exactly feel like it, but we did. Scadu Altus is a big, big place. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, we will do this section, which is basically all of this. We've already done Fort of Reprimand. We entered that from the backside near Graveside Plain. So that's done. this place right here, which we're looking at, this ruin here, this is called Morth Ruins. We will go there. We'll get some items there. However, this place leads to this. So this lower section, basically this village has been bombed out. There's a cave to go in, and then it pops you out here in a place called Bonnie Village. There's an important emote there for us to get, as well as quite a few items. There's also a dungeon on this side. However, once you reach about here, there's a site of grace here. That is also the invisible line for Miquella's Great Rune breaking. So, yeah, we're not going to go there until later. When we're ready to break the Great Rune, we'll go there. We could do Bonnie Village. We could do the Bonnie Jail and then leave. But I kind of would prefer to like make that its own thing and maybe call that, like, I don't know, Eastern Scadu Altus. Maybe. But for the next part, we are going to do this section here. We're going to do Morth Ruins. We're going to come over here. There is a forge here. There's another Forager cookbook here. And then there is a Ghost Flame Dragon fight that we did not do after Fort of Reprimand. So we'll do that as well. And then that should be enough. After that, we will then move into Rao Base. We could probably do all of Rao Base in one go. There's a ruin there and then one dungeon. It's just kind of like a long area, but there's also a map fragment there as well. And then once we're done with that, we can begin to go into Shadowkeep. I will just, once again, make sure of the quest lines and that they're progressing nicely. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll probably do that. Basically, once we break the Great Rune, everybody starts moving. But importantly, Tialier, who is still over here, he starts looking for St. Trina. And then we will have to do the Stone Coffin Fissure, which is down here. So I think we'll do the Fissure before we actually do Shadowkeep, but we really can't move Tialier until we break the Great Rune. So we'll have to figure that out, what we want to do. But yeah, that's going to be it for now. All right, cool. Let me give a thank you to my channel members. Literally never have this up. Say this every single time. All right. Thank you very much to John Aldridge with 50 months, Silver Bullet 13 with 37 months, Daniel Cockerill with 32 months, Brian Brubaker with 27 months, Baghdad Money with 23 months, Greg with 21 months, X Lightning 84 with 16 months, Harv Fontanilla with 13 months, Jason Knaps with 3 months, and Working Class Nerds with 1 month. Thank you so much to my channel members. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more guides for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new guides go live. If you're interested in supporting the channel monetarily, please consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button below this video. You can also leave a super thanks by clicking the heart icon below this video. Don't forget to join my community Discord. The link for that is in the description below. As always, I'm Sweet Johnny Cage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.